Amazonite. Find your Zen moment and take time to be present. That's a very good message. So find peace and harmony, which you won't find from doom scrolling or spending a large amount of time looking at the media. Now, the thing to do with ginger is to make sure, if it's in this format, you take it out of the fridge a little while before you use it. Ginger releases all those positive, healthy enzymes from being warmed up. It likes a little bit of heat. I've taken this out of the fridge and I'm going to put a bit in a cup, and that will sit on the side for a wee while until I make the sink this afternoon. And turmeric, the best way of using turmeric is with a carrier such as ginger. The two go really well together. Now, I bought 2 books on Saturday from a charity shop. These came from the Cancer Research charity shop in Ramsgate. It was 2 books for £2. I've given a book to Dan on mindful living, and this is a cookbook inspired by the Mindful Chef healthy recipe boxes. The next thing I want to show you is this. Now, this is polycotton fabric, and you might recognise it as The Strawberry Thief by William Morris. The last thing I have to show you is this. Well, Grand Day Rising everybody, and welcome back to my channel and another edition of New to Me, hosted by the very lovely Kimmy's Kitchen and More. It's an open collab, anybody can join in. Just tag New to Me, open collab, and don't forget to tag at Kimmy's Kitchen and More. It doesn't have to be something new that you've acquired. It can be a gift. You might have got it from a charity shop, for example. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. The only thing is that it's something that you've recently acquired. Now, the first thing I would like to show you today is this pack of crystal oracle cards. I bought this on Saturday. I was meeting Dan and I had a little bit of time to spare, so I went into the Cats in Crisis charity shop and I picked these up for £2.50, which isn't a lot of money. It looks like they have been in the Soul and Spirit magazine at some stage. Anyway, you know I'm really into gemstones and crystals, so I thought, yes, this is perfect, because of course I also collect oracle cards. I thought they're coming home with me, so I very happily paid the £2.50, and now they have a new home. I do like the front of them. Nothing flash, quite basic really in terms of the design on one side, but on the other side you have a different crystal and then a little message at the bottom. So I'll give these a little shuffle and we'll think about what we need to know as a collective for today. A message of hope and inspiration. Remember too that we are drawn to certain crystals, but they pick us, not the other way round. Each crystal has a certain attribute that is useful in healing, inspiration, creativity, even business meetings. There's a crystal that we can work with in any situation, and the one that we most need at a particular time we are automatically drawn to. So what do we need to know as a collective for today? Let's see. Amazonite. Find your Zen moment and take time to be present. That's a very good message. So find peace and harmony, which you won't find from doom scrolling or spending a large amount of time looking at the media or listening to all the stories that are out there. Go and find some happiness and peace, whether it's meditation, spending time with family, friends, pets, doing something you enjoy doing, going for a walk, being out in the sunshine. I'm going to go gardening in a little while. So I think that's a lovely one to have. We'll see if there's any more messages. Let's see if we can find something that goes well with the Amazonite for today. Another message for us. This one's Marcasite. Being expressive and courageous, now is your time. So they go quite well together. You need to find your Zen moment in order to recharge your batteries and refresh and renew, and thereon you can be expressive and courageous. So they do go quite well together. Find your Zen moment first, which will enable you to enliven your energy and restore your sense of peace and well-being, and then you will have the energy necessary to strike your warrior pose, a peaceful warrior pose though, no less. So that's a nice message for today, which will bring us on to the next item. I'd like to show you this. Now, I did buy this online, but the International Food Market in Margate, I discovered, has quite a wide range of very healthy goodies, including avocado oil. I did buy some avocado oil as well online because I couldn't find it in any of the mainstream shops, and also some avocado mayonnaise. And then when I was in the International Food Market last week, I saw a larger bottle for a good price of the avocado oil. As I said, they've got quite a few things there, so wherever you are, maybe you can find them too if you do a bit of research. It was purely by chance that I found it in Margate. Anyway, this one is the organic ginger and turmeric paste. It is open, it's quite potent, it's good for curries. It's been in the fridge, it's open. And it's vegan, and it's got natural ingredients in, so we've got ginger, 80%, turmeric, 8%, water, coconut vinegar, coconut oil, sea salt. Certified organic ingredients, no palm oil. Excellent. It needs to be consumed within 2 to 3 weeks, which won't be difficult. We've got a very cold fridge though, so we may be able to push the boat out to about 4 weeks. And it's produced in Teddington Road, Kingston, and in the Netherlands. And it's certified by the Organic Food Federation. So 100 grams of this provides 211 calories. Obviously you're not going to have that much of it at a time. A good teaspoon or 2 would do the job. I'm going to use some today in a lovely sweet potato soup. Now, the thing to do with ginger is to make sure, if it's in this format, you take it out of the fridge a little while before you use it. Ginger releases all those positive, healthy enzymes from being warmed up. It likes a little bit of heat. I've taken this out of the fridge and I'm going to put a bit in a cup, and that will sit on the side for a wee while until I make the soup this afternoon. And turmeric, the best way of using turmeric is with a carrier such as ginger. The two go really well together. They're a winning combination. Turmeric needs another spice to release all those beneficial enzymes. Have you tried this? Avocado oil is, like this, a good anti-inflammatory store cupboard essential. And as I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet mostly, I do like to have this sort of thing in the house. The next thing I would like to show you is this book. Now, I bought 2 books on Saturday from a charity shop. These came from the Cancer Research charity shop in Ramsgate. It was 2 books for £2. I've given a book to Dan on mindful living, and this is a cookbook inspired by the Mindful Chef healthy recipe boxes. Now, I don't use recipe boxes, or a lot of people do though who are pressed for time, but it has some fabulous recipes in. There is brown rice in here and quinoa and sweet potatoes, but the emphasis is on avocados and protein and vegetables and other goodies. We've got honey and ginger salmon skewers with rainbow slaw and brown rice. That looks delicious. Now that I'm going to have to cook. I have in the house at the moment on a yellow ticket 2 salmon fillets that are sitting happily in the freezer waiting to be used, and I think they will be lovely. I'll probably use a bit of this. I have some beautiful white Derbyshire honey, not a lot left but a little bit. It was quite expensive. I use it sparingly. I guess if you didn't have honey you could use something like maple syrup, just a dash of. But I think they will be absolutely gorgeous. Lighter and healthier maybe than some things that you might care to eat for supper when you're in a hurry, like a burger. Here they've got spinach falafels. Spinach falafels with coconut harissa sauce and zingy kale salad. And I think you bake these falafels rather than deep fry them. Anyway, I love falafels, so I will definitely give those a go. Coconut harissa sauce, very nice that sounds too. It's also got some breakfast ideas in. You've got crunchy pecan, coconut and chia granola. My Dan loves granola. I have to watch my very expensive teeth. Everything is divided into sections, so we've got things like energy and productivity, and then we've got sections for, we've been doing exercise, sections for stress. There's certain foods we can benefit from if we're under a stressful situation. We have essential fatty acids, B vitamins, fruit and vegetables, vitamin C, green tea, which I love, complex carbohydrates, such as fruits, vegetables and whole grains, magnesium. I have magnesium balm, which Dan massages into my lower back every night. For me, it's a kinder way of ingesting magnesium, which, especially when you get older, we all need. I did get some clean magnesium tablets, but they irritated the lining of my stomach. And then foods to avoid, of course, sugar, processed fats, caffeine and alcohol. So if you're on a downer or stressed, it's best to maybe curb crisps and chocolate, although a couple of squares of dark chocolate are a good antioxidant and, you know, a good pick-me-up as well. But just go easy, because they're going to just make you feel worse. You get the sugar rush and then you come crashing down. This chapter's on gut health, so foods to eat in order to change the way your gut behaves, which is always very useful to know. So it says eat real whole foods, more fibre, manage your stress and sleep well, very important. Create a healthy balance of bacteria in your gut. I go for ferments, of course. I make kimchi sometimes. We've just got through a jar of Polish sauerkraut. I do pickled beetroot. I do sprouting seeds sometimes as well. We drink kefir, Greek yogurt, bio yogurt, and find out what's causing the problem, what triggers your gut problems. That is really important. So that essentially cost me £1 for a hardback, and a very nice book it is too, and one I shall enjoy using. Well, the next thing I want to show you is this. Now this is polycotton fabric, and you might recognise it as The Strawberry Thief by William Morris. Now at one time Liberty of London was the only place you could get the William Morris fabrics, but now they are produced in a polycotton by other companies. The ones you get from Liberty, of course, are pure cotton, either craft cotton, which is more like the cotton poplin, or the Tana lawn, the finer cotton fabric. Tana is from Tanzania, which has a lovely fine fibre similar to silk, and is really beautiful for scarves and other floaty items. It's cheaper as well than silk, and while it's not especially cheap, you could make yourself a summer top for maybe 50 quid instead of maybe 100 or 150 pounds. So that's the difference. So this fabric cost me £3.99 from the fabric shop in Ramsgate, but I bought this as a backup fabric for the curtains in my kitchen. Here, wait a minute, let me show you. So I made these curtains to go below the counter, just to cover the shelves that are behind. And as we have very much a vintage style kitchen, I thought it would add a final touch. We have enough of that gingham fabric left as well to make a table runner, or maybe some table placemats, or maybe even both. I've got two short lengths, so I may be able to make some more kitchenalia. There's not enough for an apron, but nonetheless, that's not too bad, is it? Now, I wasn't too sure at first, even though I bought this with curtains in mind for the kitchen, whether I wanted to actually make some up in this fabric, and I've been deliberating for quite some time. I used a good metre of fabric, in fact, to make some items to sell at the craft fairs that I do. I've cut them out and I've put them aside, but I've still got 3 metres left, and I decided after all that I would make a spare pair, and I reckon I will still have some spare fabric left after cutting out more curtains, because I don't think they need to be as gathered as the 2 pairs of gingham. I think they would be easier to draw back and forth with fewer gathers. So I've decided that I will make some more curtains for the kitchen, and whatever fabric is left, I think I will probably make some cushions. What do you think? Do you like this? I do think it's nice. I've actually cut out a tote bag which I'll line with cotton. The last thing I have to show you is this. Now, this poster I acquired the other year when I went to see the exhibition at the Gilbert and George Centre of their London Pictures. And it is a signed poster. They had quite a number of copies in their shop there. They've been incredibly successful artists now for such a long time and live near Brick Lane. So they've been living in the area for a long time, and the gallery's free to get in. They believe in giving back. Because they've been successful, they like to be able to give back to people, to the community. I think that's really wonderful. And I did really like this poster, and even though it is signed, there's the signatures, it cost me £10 only. They've made the money. They don't need to charge whacking great prices. That's their belief anyway. And even though the London pictures were actually created some years ago, as you can see, things really are very much the same in London, maybe even worse. I just think this is really fitting and reminds us to always lead as good a life as we possibly can. They literally created this by going to different newsstands and nicking whatever headlines they could. They do everything now on the computer, but at one time it was painstaking photographs, thousands of photographs for one piece of work. I was never really that much into Gilbert and George, but to be honest, I've become more interested in their work from going to the exhibition. I went there with my mill, who loves them, with an open mind, and I said, yeah, I totally get where they're coming from now. The frame for this is quite new, hence I'm showing you this picture. Dan bought me the frame. It cost, I think, about £20 off eBay, and he's just put it up for me today. I really do like this. And it shows us that our lives are only temporary. We're here for a short time and can be curtailed at any moment unexpectedly. So the best thing we can do is get as much out of every day as we can. Every day is a blessing and an opportunity to do good in the world. And that good can be translated into many different things, such as inspiring others and bringing happiness to other people's lives and being of service to the Creator and humanity. Anyway, what do you think of what I've shown you today? Do you like these crystal cards? I love crystals and I love collecting oracle cards. What do you think of this jar of goodness? I'm going to enjoy using it very much. I can't wait to make some soup this afternoon with this. And what about this book, Mindful Chef? I think the recipes are colourful and, to me, evoke feelings of sunshine even on the dullest of days. And they're so helpful too. Just splendid. And then, what do you think of this fabric? I really like it. It's definitely grown on me in terms of kitchen under counter curtain concept. The general pattern, of course, as I've said, is one of my favourites. And lastly, what do you think of the Gilbert and George? I think it's a very thought-provoking piece of work. Anyway, comment below and let me know your thoughts. Please give this video a like. Please share and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another one. Until then, bye for now.